He took me out for my 18th birthday. But I woke up with bruises and no memory. The truth destroyed me. She thought she was safe with her brother. But after one night out, she woke up broken, physically and emotionally. My brother was always my hero. Until I discovered what he did that night. Growing up, my brother Paul and I were inseparable. He's 5 years older than me, but that never seemed to matter. To everyone around us, we weren't individuals, we were the kids. Always together. Always looking out for each other. He was more than just my brother. He was my best friend, my protector, my constant. I just turned 18. A milestone, right? And Paul had made it very clear for years, he wanted to be the one to take me to my first bar. He said it was tradition. Something special between us. I trusted him more than anyone. So when he invited me out the day after my birthday, I didn't hesitate. He said a few of his friends would join, and that we'd just hang out and have a good time. I was excited, not just for the bar, but for the chance to finally be treated like an adult in his world. We met around 7 p.m. As soon as we got to the bar, his friends pushed us into a booth and drinks started coming. I don't remember how many I had. Maybe 2? 3? I've had alcohol before, and I know my limits. But this felt different. I started to feel dizzy way too fast, like I had been drinking all night when I was barely past my first drink. Everything after that is a blur. I remember someone helping me walk up our porch steps later that night. Then, nothing. When I woke up the next day, I felt like I had been hit by a truck. My head was pounding, my stomach in knots, my body aching. I could barely walk. I was so sick I spent the morning just trying to hold myself together. That night, when I could finally get out of bed, I went to Paul's room. I asked him what happened, what we did, when we left, how I got home. He just shrugged and said we went to the pub, then came back. I pushed for more details, but he snapped. Said if I hadn't gotten so plastered, I wouldn't be asking stupid questions. That hurt. We'd never spoken to each other like that before. The next few days were strange. Paul avoided me. I figured maybe he was mad that I'd been too drunk, even though something still felt off. Then, on Tuesday, I noticed bruises. They were on my wrists, my hips, the side of my neck. I froze. I stared at them in the mirror, trying to remember anything, but I couldn't. Then I saw the hickeys. Not just one, several. On my thighs. On my stomach. In places no one should ever touch without consent. My stomach dropped. I panicked. I didn't want to tell Mom. She already didn't want me to go out that night, so I feared she'd blame me. Instead, I went to Paul again. At first, he rolled his eyes and told me to leave his room. But when I told him I had hickeys, his whole demeanor changed. He got pale. Quiet. Nervous. He asked to see them, and when I showed him, he hesitated, then agreed that yeah, they looked like hickeys. When I asked him again what happened that night, he exploded. Screamed at me to stop asking about it. Told me it had nothing to do with the bar, and accused me of sneaking out after he brought me home. I didn't believe a word of it. He told me not to tell Mom. Said I was being paranoid and acting like he was hiding something. But he was hiding something. I could feel it. So I told Mom. She didn't react how I expected. No shouting. No gasps. Just a heavy silence. Then she said she was going to take Paul for a drive and told me to stay home. They were gone for hours. I fell asleep waiting. The next morning, she woke me up, hugged me, and said she loved me. Said she would never let anyone hurt me. And that she was sorry. Sorry for what? I needed answers. So the next day, I sat both of them down, my mom and my brother, and told them I knew something had happened. I said I couldn't move on until I understood. My mom, who never cries, burst into tears. She screamed at Paul to finally tell me the truth. Then she stormed off and slammed her bedroom door. I turned to Paul. He looked furious. Defensive. He said it was my fault. That I messed up that night, And Mom was only upset because he, once again, had to clean up my mess. His tone was cruel. Blaming. Like I had chosen this. But then, he finally started to talk. He said my drink had been spiked. That he found me throwing up in the restroom and saw someone trying something on me. He claimed he pulled the guy off me, brought me home, and took care of me. That's it. End of story. But I didn't buy it. Only Paul and his friends had access to my drinks that night. And what happened to me, the bruises, the hickeys, the pain, it couldn't have all happened in a bar bathroom. Something about his version didn't make sense. I started to cry. I begged him to just tell me the truth. He insisted he already had. Then I asked something I regret. I asked if he was protecting one of his friends. He called me crazy. Said I had no idea what I was talking about. I asked him if he did something. He exploded. Screamed that I was disgusting for even suggesting that. Said if I ever mentioned it again, he'd knock my teeth in. Then, he said something I will never forget. He said, if you wanted to sleep with me that bad, you could have just said so. I ran. I locked myself in my room and cried until I was sick. A few hours later, I got a text from an unknown number. It said, I'm one of Paul's friends. I know about the fight you had. I need to tell you the truth. I called him. I wish I hadn't. He said he didn't know anything had happened until Paul told him that morning. He thought I was just a lightweight that night, so they weren't concerned. They dropped me and Paul off first, and Paul told them he'd take care of me. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. He told me you two, hooked up. Said you didn't care, so he thought it was okay. But you were out of it. Barely conscious. He even said he gave you something else once you got home, but he didn't say what. I hung up. I haven't left my room since. I've been staring at the walls, listening for my brother's footsteps in the hallway, feeling nothing but dread. How could he do this? He was supposed to protect me. He was supposed to be my person. I trusted him more than anyone in the world. And now, I feel broken. Numb. Sick. I don't know if I should tell my mom. A part of me feels like she already knows. And the worst part? I still want to believe there's some explanation. That he was drunk. That he didn't realize. But how can I believe that when he lied? When he threatened me? When he said those things? I'm going to the hospital tomorrow. Just in case. And I'll show him the message. Maybe, just maybe, he'll finally admit the truth. As for what comes next, I don't know. I've been told to tell his girlfriend. And I will. But right now, I'm just surviving.